Welcome to Lost Without Japan, a travel podcast about the life-changing experiences of exploring Japan and those moments we would be lost without. For your listening pleasure, allow me to introduce your very own Kanko Guido, Michael.
Welcome to this week's episode of Lost Without Japan, available for your pleasure as a podcast on Japan and hopefully, after my surgeries and the rest of this year, when it comes to summertime, back to a YouTube-based show. I'm your director of travel for TKIC Studio Productions, and I'm coming to you with positive thoughts and excitement for your next journey to Japan and my return probably in about 2 years, as I'm saving currently to go with my daughter. And honestly, just as I was with my son, could not be more excited to do so. So thank you all for giving me a bit of time of yours to listen to the show today. And I hope that the podcast finds you in a good place or on the path to a better one. And if you are returning Lost Without Japan listener, thank you for returning once again. And if you're new to the show, coming from my son Sam's YouTube channel or whatever place brought you, thank you for pressing play. Remember, you can always reach out to the show at lostwithoutjapan@gmail.com or Lost Without Japan on Instagram if I could answer any questions or assist you when you are traversing Japan on your own or with your own family. I've had people do so in the past. I'm always happy to help out. Today we're going to be embarking on a journey to a city that I've wanted to talk about for quite some time, and that is Nagasaki. In this city, you can hear Gothic church bells from the Urakami Cathedral, which can mingle with the simmering of champion ramen, where cobblestone streets whisper tales of faith and where a people's resilience shines brighter than its past atomic shadows. This really, my friends, is not just a day trip. Depending, it really could be a pilgrimage through time. So let's begin. Lodging. First option that I'm going to be talking about today is the Hotel Monterey Nagasaki. Currently, is just $55 a night for April. I'll provide the link in our show notes, which will bring you directly to our Google Maps for Nagasaki, where I have saved everything that we're going to talk about today. Nice, you know, part about this location is it is an 8-minute walk to the UNESCO Heritage Site or a church. Um, we'll talk about that though a little bit later. Now, why stay here? Well, there's European-inspired stained glass windows. There are rooms with harbor views. There's spas offering oil massages. There can be private breakfasts. You could end up having some smoked salmon and some matcha lattes. Uh, this hotel is near the site of a 19th century Dutch trading post. And the hotel's architecture kind of mirrors that fusion of East and West. Some of the buildings in the area will even have brickwork from Dutch warehouses that were preserved. And you could see those faint scorch marks of oil lamps that were used by traders. Uh, there are, with this, if you can get and you're choosing to stay at this lodging, that any suites that face towards the harbor, you'll enjoy an amazing sunset that you'll be able to enjoy just from your room itself. There are some reviews that mention that the staff will even deliver at times sweet potato mochi, which is a Nagasaki delicacy invented by Christians in hiding who needed portable, non perishable snacks while they were under persecution. So I don't know if that's just a seasonal thing or if that's just something that was mentioned once, but I'm sure it's something that you can find at, you know, confectionaries or just places in and around the area. Our next lodging option is the Dormy Inn of Nagasaki, and that is a 10-minute walk to Dejima. Why stay here? Well, there's an open air onsen and free midnight ramen, and at times free ice cream as well. There seems to be like some free things throughout your day. Reviews mention that the onsen's water is sourced from hot springs that were also used by 17th century Dutch traders to soothe their sea weary muscles. Uh, there, for English things that's here, it is mentioned in some of the reviews that there is some limited English speaking for this. There are just for Nagasaki in general, it is a stop for a lot of cruises, and some people on their, stepping out from a cruise can, go to Chinatown, which we'll talk about later, and some other locations. So they're not, they're not unused to seeing tourists. So your chances of finding at least some limited English speaking is, I'd say, higher than your normal cities that you'll find in the area. Next up is Fujio Coffee. I have a link for that as well. You can start your day at Fujio Coffee, which is a retro kisaten, a traditional Japanese coffee shop where time slows to the drip of a handcrafted brew. It's tucked into a weathered wooden building near Nagasaki's historic streets, and the location has been around for 60 years and is run by Fujo family, a third generation of coffee artisans who roast beans in small batches over charcoal. And it's a method that has remained unchanged since the Showa era. Their morning set of buttered toast with fluffy omelets, paired with their signature Nagasaki blend, dark roast with notes of orange peels and molasses that are inspired by Dutch trading ships. Caramel coffee that is a siphon brewed and topped with house made caramel, recipe passed down from the founder's wife. Uh, Ambiance, there are some vintage, definitely feels to it. There are wooden booths, rotary phones, even at sometimes, and just there could be music even from a spinning turntable. The walls have uh, photos of Nagasaki's 1970 harbor. And it's really not just coffee at this location. It's really a kind of testament to Nagasaki's post war resilience, as the beans that are sourced from a Colombian farm that were once supplied by Dejima's Dutch traders, and the notes that are here, like the caramel notes that you can pick up from the coffee, um, are stirred with bamboo paddles carved uh, funny enough, or unfunny enough when you look at it, that are carved and remain from hidden Christian woodworkers. So, like the area, the town, and people that are there uh, did their, there were those people that were looking to help those being persecuted out in ways that they could. Our next stop is the Nagasaki Peace Park and Atomic Bomb Museum. It really varies on your time. Uh, I say it's one of those things where you go to do something like this, and it really is a matter of like how long you feel that you can, go. Because I went in Hiroshima, and there may be just certain things that really resonate with you, and it's not a negative thing, but it may just be only so much that you can handle. So just be prepared for that. I've seen, mentions that you could easily spend around 2 to 3 hours at this. There's a peace statue, which is a 10 meter bronze figure symbolizing the hope of nuclear disarmament. And the sculpture Sabo Kitamura modeled the face after his own mother who survived the bombing. The statue's right hand points towards the sky, and its fingers, if you look closely, are deliberately incomplete, symbolizing humanity's unfinished journey towards an eventual peace. The Hypocenter Park, a black pillar marks ground zero of the 1945 atomic blast. Nearby, the Atomic Bomb Museum displays artifacts like melted rosaries, surviving diaries, and the regrown bombed camphor tree. The tree's saplings have been sent to 30 countries as symbols of regrowth, including a grove in Hiroshima's own Peace Park. I'll just say that that portion of the museum I would probably save towards the end if you're going to want to spend any long length of time, just because those are the things that really impact me the most. Survivors Art Gallery are paintings by bomb survivors, and include Toshi Maruki's haunting Hiroshima's panels. One piece, Ghost of Irakami, depicts a shadowy figure holding lotus flowers, just a metaphor of rising from the mud. There can be English support. There are some audio guides that you can pay for that are around 500 yen, which you can end up then carrying around with you and hearing some things in English. There are also the possibility to get volunteer guides reserved online, but whether or not they speak English or how much is really hit or miss. Um, if you are attending around 11:02 a.m., there's a ceremony, water ceremony at the Fountain of Peace, where the fountain has 48 jets representing the 48 seconds it took for the bomb to detonate after being released. And there are some times where you can find paper cranes and wishes from locals for global peace. Our next stop is at Dejima Historic District. And the location that I have saved for you in the Google Maps is actually the front kind of entrance, for the area. And you could spend multiple hours at visiting this. Some key sites are Chief Factor residence, where Dutch globes, star charts, and different things are recreated, kind of show how traders smuggled tulip bulbs hidden in sake barrels, uh, dining room plates that are, have hidden Christian crosses on their floral patterns. There's a Dejima Wharf exhibit where there's holograms of smugglers hiding Christian relics. And you could see how the Christians bribed guards with Dutch's gen to receive baptisms. One hologram shows, a trader wrapped, swapping like a Bible for a samurai sword. So there's a lot going on, depending on, if that exhibit is still up and running when you're there. There's even a medical school. Japan's first vaccine was administered there in 1823 using serum smuggled in ice blocks. Dr. Philip Franz von Siebold, a German physician, disguised the vials as pickled plums to evade inspection. If you're visiting this area in December, the Christian markets can be there. You can hear Dutch carols sung in Japanese. The centerpiece is a 10-foot tulip tree made of Nagasaki's famed silk. And it was a craft actually taught by 17th century Dutch weavers. For lunch, I'm not giving you a specific location as much as an area. You're going to go to Shinchi, Chinatown. And one of the things you might want to end up eating is the Shikado champon, like a ramen. And you can explore the whole Chinatown area where it's filled with numerous restaurants. And if you want to try out the dish that I talked about, it's a hearty seafood pork noodle soup, and has been served in the area since 1899. The dish was actually created to nourish impoverished Chinese students studying at Nagasaki's medical college. Uh, the chef's original recipe uses discarded fish bones from Dutch ships and let it simmer for days to extract the flavor that was used. The secret ingredient that I was able to find is the broth was actually smoked bonito shavings that came from a 150-year-old factory in Kagoshima. The owner, Mr. Nakamura, claims his grandfather supplied fish even to Thomas Glover. There are some additional hidden gems. There's Sofoku Ji Temple, which has different paintings on the ceiling. A lot of symbolism here. You can even find a cannon statue that hides a Christian cross carved into the base, uh, a nod to persecuted converts. During the Edo period, hidden Christians would kneel here and pray to Maria Cannon, a fusion of Buddhism and Catholicism. Next stop is going to be our Glover Garden, and you could easily spend a few hours here. There's a tram ride of about 5 minutes if you do, or 15 minutes if you take line 5 to get there from our previous spot. The Glover House is Japan's oldest Western wooden building, blending Scottish stonework with Japanese shochu screens. Thomas Glover's wife, Tsuru, hosted secret meetings with anti shogun rebels. The parlor's floorboards creak under a hidden compartment where she stored smuggled gunpowder and blueprints. The Madame Butterfly statue is a panoramic harbor view. Um, so many different things you can find there, including like different traditional performing arts museums, videos, and various things that are there. Um, our next stop is going to be the Ora Catholic Church, which is a UNESCO heritage site. It's about a 7-minute walk from Glover. It's Gothic architecture and stained glass windows depicting the 26 martyrs of 1597. The church's bells are cast in France, surviving the atomic blast. Its cracks were filled with gold, and the Japanese art of kintsugi, symbolizing beauty even in brokenness. And it was mentioned in one of the things here that one of the bells is currently being repaired, and will go back up this year in kind of like a you know memoriam of what's has been there, and like how much time, I forget how many years it was for it, but there is a celebration coming up for it. There's even a hidden Christian museum where you can find disguised rosaries, Mary statues, and plaques, just different things to see what they did to go through. Um, Mount Inasa's night view is going to be the next stop, which is a 25-minute tram ride and a 5-minute ropeway. Um, some amazing sights are here. It's like been mentioned that this is like a $10 million view, and is ranked among the world's top nightscape views. Period. The Megami Bridge arcs over the harbor like a diamond terrace. The cathedral spires glow in the distance, and on clear nights, you can even see the faint lights of Hirado Island, where William Adams, the first Englishman in Japan, lived as a samurai. There's also the Starry Sky Cafe, Castilla cake, and Goto Island coffee. The cafe's recipe for this recipe dates back to 1571, when Portuguese missionaries introduced it. Um, One of the options for this area is to do the hike, the Inesa Yama Trail, for 40 minutes. And if you do this, you can actually find, if you're looking closely, hidden Christian cedar carvings etched into bark by different families. Near the summit, a moss covered stone bears the inscription Lux in Tendris, light in darkness. Next is one that I feel like I do with my daughter as well, which is the Nagasaki Penguin Aquarium, which is a 25-minute drive from Mount Inasa. There's a penguin parade daily at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. And it has been around for some time. It really is what it sounds like. Just a very much a penguin exhibit. There is some bilingual signage, again, chances of finding staff that do speak some limited English. Up next is I was just going to mention because there are many videos on YouTube that mention this location and something that you could do, which is Gunkanjima Battleship Island. I'll have a link for that too. It's a 50-minute ferry from Nagasaki port. That's going to be 2 hours of time alone just to the comings and goings. You could probably easily spend anywhere from 2 hours to 3 hours there as you look through some abandoned ruins, crumbling apartments, schools, coal mines. There's all sorts of information that are available for that. The island's population peaked at around 5,259 in 1959. Before the collapsing of Japan's shift to oil, the hospital's operating table still has, rusted tools. The schoolhouse holds chalkboards scribbled with half-erased math equations. And there's even the Skyfall film site, which was used in James Bond's movie, um, Skyfall itself. So one apartment even still is said to have a dinner table set up for four, dusted with volcanic ash from the 1991 Unzen eruption. For dinner, we're going to go to Kagutsu Shippokoku Ryori, and it's a 10-minute drive by or taxi from Mount Inasai. Um, there are tatami rooms with paper lanterns and koi ponds. The villa's walls survived the atomic blast, shielding diners in 1945. You can even ask to see the bullet holes in the teakwood beam, a relic from 19th century samurai duel. Reviews even mention at times some of the menu being in English. You can even, depending on your Japanese level, talk to staff where they can explain that the dishes are kind of a fusion of tempura, which is they have Portuguese inspired, and Castilian sponge cake. And the sommelier, Mr. Hayashi, pairs each course with shochu, which are is distilled from sweet potatoes and grown in an atomic um, mom soil, just a symbol of rebirth. With that, we'll be ending this day trip and resume our adventures in about 2 more weeks. I appreciate your understanding and patience with me in these shorter episodes and things that we've been coming across. I've had a lot going on between school and with my surgery that I'm going to be having coming up, and will actually, by the time this airs, have passed. So I've been kind of between work and school and prepping for this and doing what I needed to. Been very limited on time, but don't want to miss being able to give some things for you to hear. I'm hoping that the recovery for me will be a quick one, but I've been told that it takes about 3 weeks to begin to feel somewhat relieved, and about 3 months to finally uh, be back to normal. So please, you know, appreciate your understanding. Again, if the next episode is one where I'm either sharing one of Sam's episodes from his YouTube channel, or just sharing some music that I have found so far this year with you. And then I'll return back after that, um, looking through again once kind of at a point that I can to come up with some interviews, continue doing what we're doing. But again, I just don't want to miss up on of the bi-weekly schedule that's been going on for more than 3 years. And, you know, miss out on episode 108. So, with that, again, if you'd like to follow the show, go ahead. Do so in your favorite streaming service. Give a like, comment if they allow. And for updates on the show, you can even follow it on Instagram at Lost Without Japan. If you enjoyed today's show, feel free to support it by joining the show's Patreon. The link will be in today's show notes. Thank you for our members and those who have donated. You're helping to save towards, a microphone I'd like to use when my daughter and I go on our trip. On behalf of Lost Without Japan and the entire crew, I'd like to thank you for joining us on the trip. We look forward to seeing you on board again in 2 weeks for the next episode. To everyone out there, oh, Ginky Day. Stay well, my friends.